and welcome, Lynx here, and this is Raising Angel's Judgment, as expected, of course. Well, the last episode did not end on a good note, but hopefully everything will be alright with Kika, because, well, losing her would be a terrible thing, definitely. Let's see what's happening over here. An empty office, whiff of bitter coffee brewing in the pot. Welcome me back to my office, because... Wait, this is my office. I already hate it. There are way too many computers, which means way too many people in one room. Normally the 3 other desks in here are occupied, but the whiteboard shows everyone else is out for the day. I'm not going to complain about it. Fewer people here means fewer stupid questions about case I don't fully understand yet. I grab my dolphin mug and put my hand out towards the pot, feeling the suppressing heat radiating out from it. Someone didn't update their board correctly again. But I've got a nice cup of warm coffee, and they were smart enough to use the good brew instead of the discount bag of wood shavings Mia thinks his coffee. I'll just let them off with a quick warning. Best way to start a long day.
I'm glad I got it right, Sergeant Puccile. I've never made it before.
It's quite good, just the right amount of grounds. Would you like a cup? We've got some of those disposable ones that were left over from last week's conference call.
Oh, no, thank you. When I drink it, I get a little crazy.
Wired? Bouncing off the walls?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, your loss. Coffee? Loss? Not really. I took a long gulp of the hot bitter liquid. Wouldn't be nice if it made me energetic right now. I've got a long day ahead of me reading case files, and I'd rather not pass out on them. So, what is the prosecution doing here? Decide to come work for the dark side?
I thought the defense was always viewed as the light side. You're the good ones protecting innocent people, aren't you?
It depends. It really depends. I would say in some cases, when you know it's not really in a good thing, or in a good manner, it's not necessarily the light side. I think it really depends. One time it can be light, one time it can be dark. Same can be the other one, right? The other team, I would say. We're so dark and evil we can't even afford to replace our ceiling lights that went out 2 months ago.
Oh!
There you go.
Is that the smell of roasted energy coming from your office, Náme?
Only for investigators.
I brought donuts, a half dozen freshly made with a couple of cream-filled ones.
You bought yourself a cup, stop lurking outside and get in here.
Yo, Náme. Hey, Newt.
Good evening, Captain Lope.
He's a captain, what?
What brings you here?
Assuming that it's alright with you, he'll be joining us as my technical expert. I was going to fill out the paperwork when I finally woke up.
Will you share your discoveries with me as well?
I live to serve. I could never deny a beautiful lady's request.
Thanks!
Speaking of torturing poor innocent Newt, I found out what is going on between my sister and Vice Admiral Tsuri.
I'm sure it's something quite proper and friendly.
What's the best way to explain this? I'm pretty sure that my sister has seen Tsuri naked.
My bedroom is right above theirs. Based on the noises, I'm pretty sure that your sister has seen Tsuri naked in your office as well.
Oh my!
You better not be creeping on my sister.
I've told you that we need to sound padding between the floors.
Then I would be able to tell you up. Yell up at you. Come on.
Neither would your sister or her girlfriend.
How would everyone like a donut before we get started? Something nice and sweet to fill our mouths with.
Would you like to...
Okay, stop making the prosecution uncomfortable, Jade, and keep the dirty joke to yourself. I'll throw you out of here and keep the sword skin.
Yeah, who said I was going to make a dirty joke?
It was going to be something about cream feeding, and I know you're going to make it because you're immature and predictable.
Yeah, you're a buskill. Sorry, Newt.
I'd like it if we could talk about something else.
My workstation is still booting up. Whoa. For nobody here, the network is worse than usual. Jade, fix it.
You know, I don't recall seeing anyone on the way up here. The whole building seemed deserted.
I said fix my computer.
Yes, my lady. I wait on bended knee to serve your whims. This technological dragon shall fall under the sword of the paladin of engineering.
What a guy! Oh my god. You know what? Her face says, just fix my computer. Please, we've got work to do.
Yes, ma'am.
How is the sergeant or the captain around?
He works for us, Newt. If you don't assert yourself with your assets, especially one who promised to help us unconditionally, then finding the truth will be much harder.
It's not unconditionally. What do you call the...
Let's talk. More fix. I want to get to work today, Captain Loper.
Please do work for us, sir.
What I do for pretty ladies.
I mean, to be fair, only the one on the right is pretty here. No, to be fair, name is like meh. Let's face it. That's the reality. I feel a little bad sending Jade in to fix a computer problem that I could solve myself, but I need to go to the bathroom. I barely had time to get ready this morning, and some activities got postponed. I'm going to the restroom real quick, Newt. If he says anything stupid, or tries to tell you how amazing he is, just ignore it until I get back.
I can hear you.
I've got some papers I printed out last night for a few documents.
Physical copies? Really?
My data butler was dying and it was a really weird report. Ask me straight what your sister wrote.
I wouldn't be surprised. Natalie wants to see evil in every corner except her own heart. It's why you've got such an easy job.
I don't think she does. I think she might have stumbled upon something terrifying.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll be back. You can come join me if the fright gets to be too much for your bladder.
Hey?
Don't look at me like a hard puppy dog. I might not have a lot of feelings left in my heart, but she's far too innocent and sweet for this line of work. Here, I'll look over whatever part of it you find the scariest. I feel bad leaving you with both scary stories and Jade.
Cringe uses shots to the heart. It is painfully effective.
Rising angels, judgment.
It only takes a few seconds of reading before I found out what was bothering Newt, and swiftly debunk and dismiss it. It's a shame, really. I was hoping it would at least last me to the stall. Once again, Natalie has gone off the deep end with her flowery language and gross exaggerations. Why can't she ever just be plain and blunt? Does she think leadership's like this? Yeah, who am I kidding? After my last performance report got kicked back because the acronym usage had once not approved by the base, I should have learned that it doesn't matter what you say, but how you say it. Now she's a big famous SITO, and I'm reading her reports in some dumpy bathroom stall, all because she knows how to play the game and I just can't bring myself to do it. So technically you do know how to play it as well, seems like. But you just don't want. I try to get my mind back on the paper sent off the bitter jaded feelings. I want to do something new and honorable. I need to start accepting my reality and move in bathrooms less. I just sigh. Let's again see what Newt finds so interesting. I quickly skimmed the document for a second time and I'm once again rewarded with a headache brought on by stupidity. Her lieutenant reported being attacked by wildcats that were smart enough to understand human tongue and common. How is this supposed to be any sort of defense from smuggling and corruption? Paul just understands everything I say. When I tell him to come to me, he just sits there and stares because he's not my slave but my loyal blob of a cat. He's not driving me to burn down a hospital. Huh? I bet it only appeared like the wild cats understood. There is some reference to a wild tribe that lived out there as well. So there is a 99.9% chance they were just trained animals.
Am I supposed to deal with any of this?
Great. Great. And then the power goes out. Isn't it just a fun, talking, fastic? How can my day get any worse? There was a click in the background. With the water going out as well? Sure, why not? After a few moments, the light comes back on. I'm going to give a call to civil engineering, later complain about them not sending out a message to everyone that they're going to work on our stuff. Okay, this light looks suspicious. I guess I'll need to make a second call to civil engineering to figure out what the hell they did this time. Is this some sort of joke? Is there a federal holiday going on and everyone would just be decorating to a building to celebrate? What culture celebrates weird red ambient light for? I left my datapad back in the office. I'll go get it and put it the call right now.
Hey! You're those weird cats that were in Natalie's port. What are you doing here? Did the freaking guard at the front desk let you in?
Maybe there is some sort of freaking holiday being celebrated. That's the only logical reason why they'd let animals into the building. They're walking towards me. The soft clinking of claws on tile being the only noise coming from them. This is weird. This is really weird. I'm kind of wishing I'd bothered reading that newspaper now. If this isn't some weird holiday and something freak and dangerous is going down. Those cats could one-shot me in this state. If I'm staring death in the face right now, I need to change tactics. If I run away in this a holiday, Jade will never let me hear the end of this. Pet the cats. Sounds like a bad idea. Fleeing terror back to the office. Yep, I can punch Jade if this is just a holiday thing. I can punch those cats if they try to eat me. Slowly back away, I evaluate my options. Years of neglecting my body and changing my physical fitness scores from failing to passing means what little chance I may have had of outrunning them is gone. But that's all I can do. If those cats want to tussle, my stats are so low that I might as well just cover myself in ketchup and lie down the dinner plate. I just need to... A massive clawed paw rakes across my face with lightning speed. The force of blow knocked me off my feet and onto my butt. Is the shock? I should be screaming in pain from a hit like that, but no blood is running down my face, no screaming agony from having my face shredded. I felt like a shit blocked me. I should be happier, overjoyed that I lived such a blow. Instead, I feel tired, drained, like part of my life soul was torn from my body. The cats are fanning around me, trying to cut off any attempts at fleeing as their circle their prey. Sorry kitties, but I don't intend to get mauled here today. Back on my feet and sprinting towards the safety of the office. I'm panting hard from exertion. Jade always tells me that I need to rely on exercise instead of my high metabolism, but this is the first time I admit he may be right. If I survive this, I'm going to convince Jade to convince me to go running with him every morning. Every morning is a bit excessive, but you know, it's definitely helpful. Yeah, every morning would kill your legs basically, but well, whatever. I don't care how trouble the morning is, killer cats are worse. Almost there. Hiya! Or something. I slammed the door shut with all of my might and triggered the red switch on the side that activates the emergency lockdown. No cats are going to break down this door, and if anyone is still in the security office, they will be rushing to my aid. Assuming there is a security office left, what the hell is going on down there? Killer cats with almost mystical floating in islands, half the building gone.
Sergeant Puccile, thank goodness you're here. I didn't know what to do.
Locking doors they can't get in seem like a good place to start.
Lock the door. Is it a routing attack?
I don't think so. If this, they are far more creative and powerful than anyone gave them credit for in the past decade. Did anything get in here with you?
No, but something's turning wrong with Captain Lowe there. Ever since the power went out, he's been...
Her voice goes quiet and her eyes go wide in fear. She rubs my hands with her thin, soft fingers and grips me tightly.
What a wonderful feeling. Your heart is far dimmer than when you left. The beautiful shine that glowed like the shining sun of her head is nothing more than a flicker of a candle.
Fine, just a bit worn out from all the running.
Please, I can see the damage.
It was weird. There were these weird orange cats that you report mentioned when one of them swapped at me. I know it close made contact, but I'm fine.
You're not. Whatever did it, Scared your soul! I can heal damage, but you need rest.
Fine, Newt. It must have pulled its clothes back at the last second like it was trained to do.
Please, just rest for a moment. I'll make you whole again.
Okay, where's Jade at? I want to make sure that he's fine before we worry about me.
Hey, Name, I'm over here.
You don't look so good. Was working on my computer really that taxing for you? I try to keep my voice light, but seeing him slump his chair hurts my heart to see. His ragged breathing hangs over us like a dark storm cloud of pain. However badly that cat's blows seem to have affected me, it certainly doesn't feel as bad as what he's going through.
Must been from staying up late last night. After the power went out, I just started feeling incredibly woozy. I feel all wibbly wobbly and I can hear voices.
Yeah, you're hearing me and Newt talking to you.
Not yours, it's a man's voice, whispers.
Don't go crazy on me now, come on, you just need to catch a quick nap and you'll be slaying those reports with the best of them.
Yeah, the best of them are right in front of me.
Damn straight.
Damn, I've been feeling for Captain Loper if we don't do something for him soon.
He needs rest, Newt. This wasn't the first time this has happened.
I don't want to rest first, but I don't think this is going to get better for him.
Relax, nothing old Jade can tough out.
And this started happening when the power went out. Did anything else strange happen here?
Not really.
We're not home anymore.
What does that mean? Do you know what's going on outside?
No, I can just feel it in the air. This isn't Megator Spaceport anymore.
Did anyone hear about some sort of holiday or festival day that would involve putting up holographic overlays or floating islands and ruins on all the windows and letting wild animals loose in the halls?
Name. That sounds like something you'd find in a dungeon of some fantasy game.
Well, that's what's going on right now. Either we are in some weird festival that I've never heard of, or we were really magically teleported somewhere against our will.
Is this why nobody was here today? Were they kidnapped to a strange land?
It's not important right now.
But there could be hundreds or even thousands of people whose lives could be in danger, such as Puccile. We have to do everything we can to save them.
I'm sorry, what? What do you mean by that? No. We're not doing that, right?
She's right. Don't worry about me. Find out what happened to save everyone. And save everyone. Not to save. And...
How can you both be so right and so stupidly wrong at the same time? It can be just because I went through SITO training. The most important thing we need to do is figure out what happened and make sure we don't die doing it. Right now we don't even know if anyone other than us is in trouble or if we are in trouble at all.
But your sister's report said...
Did it say something about weird floating islands and illness that is making him hear voices or magical freaking powers that could vanish everyone? I feel that report would have put her in the psych ward instead of our courthouse.
I don't recall reading that, but...
Calm down, Name. We're on your side.
There is killer animals and a freaky word outside the door, Jade. I think the time to be completely calm has passed.
Sit for a moment. Let me tend to your heart.
I said I'm fine.
Please!
You're lucky you're cute.
Thank you.
As 1,000 terrifying situations run through my head about what might be going on, each less believable than the last, Newt rests her hand on my shoulders. As much as I would love a shoulder massage, now is not the time. She doesn't respond. Suddenly the weird ebony horn on her head glows with an eerie blue light. Wait, was that before there? Yeah, it was there before. I did not even notice. Just like that, the fog in my mind suddenly parts and I can feel my focus and mental acuity return to me. What was that? Are you sure this isn't some big trick on me?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean it. I don't know what I did or how I did it. I just knew that it would help you.
Right. Jade, are you guys pranking me? Seriously, I demand you to tell me now.
Do I look like I'm in shape to be pulling this off?
Fair point. Can you do whatever you did to me on him?
It's been keeping things at bay, but it seems to be getting weaker and weaker on me.
I'm not strong enough to remove whatever it is hurting the captain completely.
You're helping him feel better, right? That's all he can ask for.
You're my angel right now, Newt.
Hey! I'll do whatever I can to make you better, both better.
Both are smiling, but I can't manage to crack even a smirk. I don't know what's going on, and that's driving me crazy. If I open the door, those cats are going to maul my soul to death if I stay here. Will help come. We need to mount a rescue for ourselves.
But the regulation says that if there is an emergency, we are to shelter in place until rescue forces arrive.
And it says we also have full authorization to defend ourselves. If we accept that this isn't some sort of prank, then we need to find out what's going on and stop it. Or accept this is our new reality and become a band of adventurers who save the world.
I thought you'd get this sooner or later. I'm in.
I want to come with you both.
Newt, you can defend yourself and Jade. You're under the weather.
I'm still able to move and focus myself.
Okay, so probably over here it was supposed to say Jade. That's not good enough. Remember what happened to Sluggishness last night?
What about last night?
That was a video.
That was a video game.
It's a good tale of real life.
Name, Newt. There is also one really important reason I have to come with you.
Do tell.
How exactly do you plan to find those cats, closing the door or whatever else might be waiting in the halls?
I can ask them nicely to not hurt me.
I have a plan.
I've got a plan. 2 of them. I call them Stubby and Stabby Jr.
You named your boot knives Stubby and Stubby Jr. Really? I'm ashamed to call you my raiding partner right now.
I'm kidding. Those were the names I thought up on the fly.
I'm not sure if it's worse that you didn't name them or that was the best you could think up.
Sorry, not feeling the best here.
Excuses. Newt, can you keep patching up whatever those cats are doing to us?
I think so.
I need to know so.
Yes, I can do this.
Good. All that remains is my plan.
You know, down, B, up isn't actually a real fighting move you can perform on them, right?
Shows what you know. Hide and uppercuts works on anything, anywhere.
Name. You know I'm fully willing to put myself between you and danger, but I like it when my DPS doesn't intentionally stand in the fire.
We shouldn't be setting things on fire. What if the sprinkler systems don't work anymore?
Considering the water in the bathroom was out and I think we may have been teleported to another place of existence by magic, I think it is safe to say they won't. I've got a better plan.
You do?
First thing we take care of is this bottle of hand sanitizer to get the germs off. Smell it, Newt.
It smells like warm gingerbread.
It's awesome. Some people in my office just don't appreciate the scent of gingerbread and they are completely wrong. They are completely correct. I'm with them. I'm with them.
I like that as well, but
we have bigger concerns than our health and well-being. Wrong answer. If you don't take care of yourself with the little things, you aren't going to be strong enough to take care of the big ones.
then why is your apartment a dump?
What did we say about talking about my home like a life at the office in front of other sergeants?
Sorry.
Like I was trying to say before someone said something completely untrue, promotion of health and well-being is very important. With our years of warfare against the Rathians, security installed some stuff to help ensure it was always being safely guarded. I leaned down to the small drawer hidden under the chief's desk. With a few key presses at hidden spots, a small key panel with dusty silver buttons drops down. I don't know of the codes for the ones in the other rooms, but 3, 4, 8, 9, 6, and there we go. The drawer pops out to reveal the Slime DR3 energy pistol secured tightly in a hidden wooden drawer. If you didn't know it was there, you'd never have suspected it. The little green energy meter shows that the internal power source is still working and fully prepared to help me blast my way out of this madness. I really hope it is a different world and it's not me just going psychotic. There is not a single explanation I can think of that would cover me shooting up the office and someone's pet.
Do you know how to use that?
You just pointed at whatever you want to add and pulled the trigger. How hard is that?
I currently see you have a sharp learning curve ahead of you. What about Newt?
I don't want a weapon.
Want and need are two different things. We'll break into your office and get the one in there.
No.
Excuse me.
I mean, I don't know the password.
Okay, there has to be a crash axe at the emergency station on the second floor. If used right, it will be our master key. What now?
Please don't give me a weapon.
Don't worry, if you aren't good enough, Captain Loper here won't ever let anything happen to two beautiful ladies. Just use it to keep them back until I take care of them.
I don't want a weapon, please.
Whoa.
Sorry?
You understand these things are going to try and attack us, right? The fact that they violently chased me here and are still trying to get through the door is proof of that. They're going to kill me, you, and even the blonde doofus over there if you don't fight back.
I know, but I can do it. I refuse to bring harm to another living creature. I won't take up a weapon.
Even at the cost of our lives trying to protect you.
I'll do whatever I can to aid you. I'll heal whatever you try to, but...
Oh boy. Oh boy, she's what I call a useless healer. Basically a healer that can't fight back. Or in this case, don't fight back. That's problematic. This is the worst time in the world to reveal to me that you are a pacifist. You know that? Like, this is not the moment to be standing on lofty ideals.
Isn't that what? Why you left being SITO? Because there is never a moment to give up on your ideals.
Now it's still time to start bringing it up.
Greens. And you always complain to your healers forget their healer tried to be DPS and let you die. Is that what you said last weekend? And the weekend before? And the weekend before? I know it hurts for her, but we can protect her from whatever is out there. If you can't believe that Nukem Carps is willing to lay his life on the line to protect two beautiful ladies, then believe in your own skills.
Jade, I'm a terrible shot and you know it. My shooter took care of everything when it got dangerous. I just ducked for cover. I don't think I can protect her or even myself.
Then do you think our survival odds are going to increase any if you give a gun to someone who won't use it and might lock up in the heat of the moment?
No.
I believe in you both. That's why I'm not afraid to go out there beside you with nothing but...
An ability you don't even understand. Why do you have to be so cute? Fine, it's like we could leave you behind anyway.
I won't let you down.
Same. We'll complete this dungeon, Náme.
Then listen up. I don't intend to just run out there and go blasting quietly. I've got a plan that might increase our longevity. We've got two objectives. First is to figure out what is going on. Second, we need to find a way to reverse it or get ourselves back to plain old Earth.
Just easy enough, right? Where do we start looking?
The security room is down the first floor behind the lobby. Not only is that the most secured and defendable point in the building, but they also have all the security cameras.
But the power went out. When the cameras won't work?
The security room has its own generator security in the room. It's meant to be a safe room that can communicate with the outside, so everything is designed to stay powered on if the building goes off the grid.
Even the cameras around the building?
Or run off a circuit breaker in the security room. We'll be able to see what happened to everyone, what happened during the power outage, and hopefully be able to signal for the rescue if that's still possible.
If it isn't,
then we have enough information to hopefully launch a counter-strike and reverse what happened. To get there, we're going to have to get to the emergency stairs on the far side of the hallway with the power flickering. I'm not going to risk taking the elevators and getting trapped.
It's fine. I could cover my way down. Are your wings strong enough to fly, Newt? They're really quite beautiful.
Oh yeah, she has wings as well.
Yeah, but I'm not strong enough to carry Náme.
And to already tested if your weak wings are strong enough to carry both of us.
My tailbone still hasn't healed quite right.
As fascinating as your bunt is, it means we're going to have to find our way to the stairs and go that way. Any questions?
None here, party leader.
I'll be right behind you.
Good. Nobody runs off, nobody splits up, we stick together and survive this. I move over and take hold of the door lock in my offhand. I hope I'm not crazy in so many different ways right now for doing this. Everybody ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
There's stuff to fear as long as I hold true to the light.
My hands are shaking, but I don't let my face show any of the fear inside of me. Let's do this.
Rising angels, Judgment!
Is everyone still alive?
I feel better, but I'm still among the living.
There is no need to worry about me, are you hurt?
There's plenty of reason to worry for you, but giving me such a bad response means you're alive. As for my status, I'm still very much among the living.
Or you're a zombie.
I'm glad I'm not. I'd starve to death if I had to feed off your brains. We both chuckled at a stupid joke. Adrenaline is still coursing through our bodies. So that's what it feels like to be living on the edge of a knife, sinking to the abyss of death and not stumbling in. I can see why people chase after this high, but I'm sane enough to know it isn't worth pursuing if it means fights like this. Do you feel a little better now that you've got your blood pumping, Jade?
I'd love to say that I do, but every time those cats knocked me around, I could hear the voices and what sounded like drums getting louder and louder.
Did I help?
You're my guardian angel, Newt. You're keeping the weirdness out.
I can't believe we fought them and lived. I thought all that combat training that all Space Sector members go through was a complete waste of time because I assumed any combat I would be a part of would involve large capital ships, but that just goes to show there is a divine reason for everything. My weapon seems to have held up fairly well despite never being used and getting inspected only once every 6 months. I even managed to not shoot Jay despite his strange desire to dodge and dance against the cats with nothing but his boot knives. I should probably ask him why he uses such a primitive weapons later. What do you think the odds are that this dungeon doesn't have any more mobs?
110%. We're safe now and forevermore.
How have we not gotten mauled a second time?
Relax.
I can feel Newt's tiny hands grip onto my uniform as she ducks behind me as a human shield. Not the best idea she's had, but I'm not going to tell her how pointless it is if it makes her feel safe. I'm going to shoot if you say anything again, Jade.
It's not like I'm worth some of them.
Let's just get to the stairwell and get down to the first floor as fast as we can. Wait. Oh, fool. I thought she had some kind of, bruise or cut on the leg here, but I guess it's just the material.
Where are we going?
I just thought we could check out some of the rooms. There might be treasure or clues in them.
It's not that time to be looting.
No?
It's your office building. Don't look disappointed you can steal pens any day of the week.
The stairs! We're almost home free!
I'm going to take a peek.
Be careful in there. Narrow stairwells might give us an advantage in fighting big bulky animals, but that advantage could turn against us quickly if we are sloppy. I'm tempted to just sprint down the stairs as fast as I can. It might even be logical to slide down the rails to improve speed, and certainly not for the fun of it without officers to judge me.
Good news, bad news.
No, only good news.
The good news is that we don't have to worry about being ambushed trying to take the stairs. I think it might be impossible as long as you still have vision.
How on earth could you know that?
Because there are only 2 flights of stairs. Everything below the 2nd floor on this side of the building is just endless void.
Huh? A minor setback. A very major setback. Stay calm, Name. You've solved harder cases like this in your sleep. Panicking will cause Newt to panic and everything will be lost. This side of the building. What about the other side?
I couldn't tell very clearly, but I think I saw part of the 1st floor still connected.
Newt, now is your time to shine. Do you think you can fly out and see if the 1st floor is still untouched? Probably if we are also on solid ground or just hovering in space as well. Newt's amethyst eyes glitter with excitement and she nods vigorously.
It would be my honor to explore for you, Sergeant Puccile.
Just be safe out there. If your wings get hooked down something out there, I dread to think how we are going to rescue you.
Have faith. I refuse to let you both down.
Newt darts to the stairwell, showing enthusiasm and eagerness that I didn't know she was capable of generating. She must really love to fly. Do you think she's going to be alright?
Relax, you have to put your faith in her.
I have plenty of faith in Newt. It is the situation I don't have faith in anymore. Half the building is gone, the world outside is changed, we're getting attacked by wild animals.
Would you be worried if it was me?
I'd be worried no matter who it was. There is things trying to kill us and I don't have eyes on her.
What's the worst that could happen?
A high-pitched scream pierces the air and a split second later, Newt comes frantically flying up through the hall. Newt, what happened?
I was fluttering over to the main door to get into the lobby when this flock of giant blood-red hawks with swept-back wings started to mob me. I pretty managed to get back in here before they ate me.
You see, Jade, the worst that could happen is a flock of giant blood-red hawks trying to eat her.
I'm just trying to stay positive, yeah.
And I'm trying to stay alive. So much for the plan of having Newt tying a rope to both ends and the two are sliding down. Right.
I've let you down.
It pains my heart to see her so depressed that she can't save us despite nearly dying to a flock of killer birds. You didn't let us down. You saw the lobby, and that means we might still have a backup plan. Did it seem intact?
Yes, Sergeant. It is only this wing that seems to be destroyed. The world outside is familiar. I did see a bunch of things that look just like home. The judicial building isn't the only feature of the base that's out there. Right below us, almost close enough to touch from the lobby doors, was a spiraling tower covered in grass and benches. It looked like someone twisted the parade grounds like a strand of DNA with the Bay Monument at the peak.
What about the spaceport? Did you see any of the hangars? Or the air sector runway?
I didn't have a chance to look.
Then it does matter. The first thing we need to take care of is find a way down to the lobby.
The elevators?
The elevators. I don't like it, but getting mauled by birds and falling to my death is not something I'm going to experience today.
Lead the way, Captain.
Yes, brave warrior. Lead us poor defenseless princesses to safety.
Okay, maybe Princess Newt is, but you're more like the evil vizier, who turns out to be the final boss that I need to save her from.
I'd like to stay with her.
You heard the princess. She's staying with me and you're leading the way. Chop chop.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah,
Raising angels. Judgment!
I should have been doing this from the very beginning.
It's really quiet, beautiful, isn't it? A golden red sky untouched by the pollution machines of the progressing universe. It's just nature in all its magical beauty. There is nothing softer on the eyes.
What? You're crazy, girl. There is something more beautiful than watching a pair of Triffins hitting their afterburners and blazing right into the wild unknown.
Triffins?
The next generation fighter craft, the air sector is rolling out. You should see these things in action. 1 second they're just rolling down the runway, the next they're pointed straight up and heading off into the wild sky yonder.
Fighters, piece of metal, and all fused together to do nothing but take the lives of nature's most precious creatures and their dreams.
Hey, it's not like your nature is much better. When I go and take off in my fighter, I deal with 2 different things trying to kill me, nature and people. People can be reasoned with. You tell them that you need to clear a runway for a medical shuttlecraft carrying a kid who was mauled by the orange terrors running around here, and they'll move out of the way. If they can't, you've got machines that can move them. You tell a thunderstorm that's sitting right above the field dropping fist-sized hail chunks that same storm would care is going to keep on terrorizing.
Isn't that the beauty of it? That sky's going to keep on shining brighter, ever shifting each day as things grow and evolve. But if mankind touches it, it begins to be corrupted. Animals have to fight for their homes, plants get uprooted for new settlements, and the skies being to darken with pollutants. The worst part is that they don't even know if that's what they want. Those same buildings will be torn down and abandoned at some point when the new whims arise. So much waste, so much destruction of existing beauty for something that may change a few days later. Peace and war all twisted into a never-ending nightmare.
But evening is the beautiful. There is always something new. Violence may happen, but that's part of the evolution and pursuit of happiness.
Why are we talking about this right now?
There is no happiness in such a world. There is only greed and malice.
You don't need greed and malice for violence. You almost got ate by that beloved nature you loved minutes ago trying to fly in that unpolluted sky.
You're saying it would be better with your killing machines gunning them all down their homes.
You wouldn't be kibble for a bunch of stupid birds.
That's their home and I violated it.
It's your right to go explore that nature.
Why are you both looking at me?
Who's right? Are the sweet cars of technology more glorious than a bunch of smelly birds?
No! The natural glory of the world is far better than the monsters we've created to defile that world!
Well, I mean, first of all, I fucking hate birds. Especially pigeons. The goddamn rats of the sky. Even though some rats are kinda cute. But pigeons are terrible. I hate pigeons. I'm gonna say... On the other hand, let's face it. Unfortunately, we do pollute a lot. Then, on the other hand, I'm the type of person that does not want to switch to electric cars and so on. Also, I don't have money for that, so there is that. But... well, in general, I don't have trust in the electric cars. That's that. Give me a car that has some kind of fuel that's not bad for the environment. I will go into it. I'm not going to go into electric though. It's not good. You know what? Let's say they are both stupid. Let's go with that. You're both stupid. This argument is stupid. The fact we are having this argument is stupid. It's just swirling vortex of ultimate stupidity. In case you both forgot, everyone here is trying to kill us. Natural, artificial, and both of them equally, and we need to keep focus on the matter at hand. Thank you. Actually, this was a good choice, and it is what I mentioned. Why are we talking about this right now?
I didn't mean to break your focus.
Sorry, Náme, I'll shut up.
Thank you. If we died because of your pointless bickering about beauty, I would haunt both you until the end of time.
You'd be my eternal companion.
I could use you to cheat at every single card game.
You're both supposed to be serious right now. Game face.
Sorry.
Sorry.
If we survive this, I'm going to seal myself away from stupidity for a while.
Raising angels, judgment.
Lights on the elevator are on, and it even is on our floor. At least something good is going on right now. I jumped the down button, more than ready to get this adventure over with as soon as possible. As much as I love hanging around the office, I think it is time for me to call it a day.
You gotta say the magic words. Open sesame.
Warning! Warning! Security lockdown in progress! Possible attack in progress!
Thanks, Jade. Your magic words are truly making this adventure a speedy one.
It's not my fault.
All personnel are to shelter in place until security forces can arrive and secure the building. Please follow all orders from your floor security chief. Warning! Warning!
I know we're under attack. I saw the stairwell. I need the elevator.
Náme, bang the door isn't going to open it.
It might, you don't even know. If it knows we are in trouble, it knows we need freedom of movement.
I totally agree, but would you want a bunch of panicking people running into a routine attack or letting them move heavy weapons between floors?
Stop, I know, I don't care for, I want to get out. We can't use the elevator, we can't use the stairs, there is no help out there, we're going to die here!
The situation isn't that bad.
It is that bad, there is no escape. Podges, Natalie,
Mom, there is a way.
There isn't, I can't think of any way we can get out of this.
You mustn't give up hope. Believe in me one more time.
Okay, you can't possibly think of going back out there in suicide.
If I'm going to give up my life today, I would give up trying to save my friends from despair.
It's not really...
Newt wraps me up in a tight hug. It takes all of my remaining strength not to break down crying. I need to find a way to stop this. I didn't quit being a SITO just so I could watch people whose presences I've come to enjoy perish again. Newt, I...
Could you both stop being depressing martyrs for a moment and listen to me?
I'm having a heartbreaking moment here with a girl I was starting to hope would become a good friend, Jade.
A good friend? Me?
Yeah, and this is a trouble seeing Queen Frigid start to warm, but we aren't trapped here and you doesn't need to try and solo a swarm of killer hawks.
You think you can help open the control panel? I thought Manu was the software expert in your crime sprees.
She is, but we can open this door up legitimately.
No, I'm afraid. The only place you can lift the secret lockdown is the security room on the first floor.
No, I didn't tell you this, but there is a secret to the lockdown that's only known to members of leadership, such as the commanding officer of the 42nd Space Sector Combat Maintenance Team.
But he's not here.
Me. I am.
People he put in charge, but forgive me.
It's weird, right?
You both wound me. You see those 2 slots right here? You can put in emergency access cards to trigger temporary removal of the lockdown just for these sorts of situations.
Then why are you letting me stand here in sorrow while Newt tries to noob this access herself? Put it in now!
I don't have the keys for this building. I don't work here, remember? There should be 2 keys for each floor hidden somewhere. We can't get to the first floor, so it means we have to find 2 of the 4 keys we should be able to access.
Assuming they are still here.
Assuming. I don't suppose you happen to have seen your bosses with a blue keycard with a silver stripe.
I haven't.
Neither have I. Still, I like this option more than sending Newt to her death and then dying myself to either dehydration or murderous animals.
Right, if we can find the keys, then we start breaking down and sacrificing ourselves for hopeless long shots.
At least 2 out of 4 keys. All of them. If I can manage it, we can do this. Time for a room-by-room search.
Raising angels.
Judgment.
Jade?
I see it, Náme.
There's a treasure chest just sitting in the middle of somebody's office.
That's it.
Jade, there is a treasure chest in an office.
I'm just as perplexed as you are.
I think we should move on to a different room.
Why?
How many times must I stress this to you before it clicks in your head? We don't have treasure chests in the judicial building. I'm willing to say we don't have them anywhere on base. Yeah, it's kinda suspicious, isn't it? To have a treasure chest out of nowhere in an office. Why would there be something like that? I wonder as well. Kinda very suspicious.
That's all the more reason to see what's inside. This has to be some sort of clue to what is going on.
He kind of has the point. No, it is pretty obviously a trap.
We won't if we don't try.
That kind of logic gets people killed. No, let's stop him. Jade, it is obviously a trap. If you touch it, I'm going to just walk out right now because your stupidity might be contagious.
You really think there's something good in there?
It doesn't matter if there is. I highly doubt the key we're looking for is in there. Even if it is, there are other keys we can get that are safer.
Alright, Killjoy. We'll let them still lie unsolved.
You can thank me later when you're still alive. This room is too dangerous to let Jade run wild in it. We'll just look for the keys in another room.
Raising angels.
Judgment. Time to check out this room.
I'm certain this is one of the rooms that will have a key. Absolutely positive.
How can you be so sure?
It's the office of the Commander Young. As one of the head judges for the unit, I'm positive that he would possess such a key.
Even the judge who attempted to end the case in 15 minutes, the one who was acting extremely odd before we all suddenly ended up stuck here the next day.
Do you suspect he has a role to play in this?
I think we should just slightly crack the door open and check for the traps before we charge in there. Both of us take hold of the door. With the slightest, slowest movement possible, we creak open the door. Sure enough, standing boldly and proudly in the middle of the room is another one of the orange cats. Unlike the others we've fought so far, this one has a much richer orange coat and is large enough that we could squish me if he sat on me.
Sergeant Puccile, look what's under his paws!
Under his right collar is a small thin card. There is no possible way that it knows what it is protecting, right? Just like Commander Young was just doing the right thing. This can't be a mere coincidence. I just wish I knew what it meant. Why would the big boss cat be seeing the weird universe version of Commander Young's office? Is because this cat is some representation of him, sorry. Does the cat somehow remote control him? Is the commander the villain and he placed this cat here to thwart us from escaping? And why is it just the three of us here? And are they trying to kill off anyone that might be able to investigate what is really going on?
We don't need the key, do we? Can't we just go around and look for another one?
And leave him at our back? Unlikely.
Please, we could just close the door and nobody needs to be harmed.
Boss cat does seem like he's just waiting for people to break down the door and come to him. We can bypass this key if we want. You know what, let's try... No, let's... You're right, let's just play it safe and find ourselves a key that won't try to eat us.
Thank you so much.
You really hate fighting, don't you?
What good comes from it? Harm, pain, everyone has such beautiful hearts and bringing them harm to them only diminishes the shine of hope that shimmers in them all.
Well, we really should push further to this room, but I'm not going to make Newt keep hurting herself if she doesn't have to do so. Let's get out here. I poked my head back in just to be sure it is real. Is the cat still there?
Yep, that's a big no for me then. We'll go look elsewhere.
Raising angels.
Judgment! I think our floor security representative works in this room. She should have a key for her desk.
And which desk is hers?
The desk that is hers?
You don't know. There is a seriously large number of desks in this room. How are we supposed to find her key if we don't know which one is which? How do you think? One by single painstaking one? Do we have to do it? I mean, I'm perfectly willing to live here for the rest of my life. I figured it will be at most 3 days, so why not?
But I thought we were trying to escape.
Sarcasm, Newt. How do you get through the day as a judicial sergeant if you can't detect a sarcasm?
I can see the colors of people's hearts, but sarcasm doesn't really change it. There's so many different emotions that correspond to sarcasm that it always confuses me.
Then we start teaching context clues instead of whatever weird magical powers you think you have. Are you questioning your white mage powers at this point? Shut up, Jade. My point is the same one that I've given up trying to teach Natalie. Diversity in your talents. We don't know if she has secret mana bar that is running out as we debate it. I'll give the point to you. I'll check desk on the left if you could check the desks on the right. Call if you find anything. Time to start the hunts through the desk. After desk, after desk, after desk. Hey Newt, can I ask you a question?
If you want to ask me a question, you could.
Tell me about yourself. I'm trying to wrap my brain around why you would willingly choose to be a pacifist.
Huh?
I mean, something in your life must have convinced you enough that harming another was so important you don't defend yourself even in a dire situation like this. I'm curious.
Do you hate me because of it?
I'm seriously annoyed about it, but there is no way I could hate you over your desire not to harm others. It's admirable, but I just can't wrap my head around what would motivate someone to stay true to their belief of peace even in a situation like this.
But Name, there are precisely the times when principles and beliefs matter the most. There's no point believing something if you aren't going to stand by it when it matters. That's what my mom used to tell me all the time. No matter how bad it looks, my little Newt, you have to stay strong to yourself or nobody else will.
She told you to be a pacifist.
No! Mom used to get in a lot of fights with a lot of different people. Peace was one thing she never intentionally taught me.
Was she some sort of heavy alcoholic that couldn't help but try to knock out some drunk guy she thought was coming on to her?
I know for sure.
Seems like something you'd be able to pick up after the first few times she'd come home reeking of booze and vomit. Touch subject, huh? Was she abusive?
Huh?
Show some tact, Name! What? I'm not judging her. I just want to know more about her and family is one of the most perfect things. Like you and your creepy sister. Mana isn't creepy. Totally creepy. Nobody stalks a sibling like that and turns out not to be creepy. Also, why are you in our conversation? Mind your business, help find that key. But you're main tank now, so get to work. How does... never mind, batting out.
Sergeant Puccile, my mama never laid a finger on me in anger ever.
It's okay, I'm not going to judge you, I'm just curious.
She never did any such thing. I was her precious little princess to her. There was never a moment when I wanted. Even those nights when her work kept her out late into the night, she would call to make sure everything was fine. I remember one time in junior academy when it was a picture day. I was so proud of my brand new dress that I had just gotten for a birthday present. It was a soft and simple emerald cotton dress and I was so proud of it. But I was so eager to wear it that I wore it in that night. I'm not the nimblest of people and accidentally split my tomato soup all over myself. Complete stained, and I went to bed crying. Next morning I woke up and found the dress sitting in my closet looking brand new. To this day, I know how she managed to clean all those stains out, but it was spotless.
Sounds like she spoiled you.
A little bit, but I was always so happy that some days forgot to let her know how much it all meant to me.
I can imagine growing up as an only child being spoiled did blind you to some realities.
I could always see her heart shining just like yours. It's why I know I can trust you no matter what happens, trial or tribulations.
But you never knew what she did.
I didn't want to know. I feared what it would be. Now I just wish I could have known.
Am I secretly some sort of criminal trying to be a good person to a naive newt? No, I gave up the SITO life and I'm walking the path of justice now. There is no darkness in my actions anymore. No bending rules to make bad things happen to bad people. Wait, you wish you could have known. Can't you ask her, or is she deceased?
She is very much alive, but...
Haha, found it! Found it! It's nice, Jay, but we are trying to have a moment here. Like you always tell me, you can have your moment when we get home. Jade leans in close. Name. Looks like she's about ready to cry. Let it go for now. I don't let things that hold my interest go. And that's why I'm basically your only friend. Trust me, let it go for now and let her calm down. Ah.
Huh?
Nothing. You'll have to show me the dress sometime if you still have it.
Okay. Raising angels.
Judgment.
Isn't this your supervisor's office, Sergeant Puccile?
She's technically my boss's boss, but that's still close enough to call her my supervisor. If only has the key to his floor, Commander Thurman would have it. The empty room does calm me down a little bit, but I'm still on the edge after everything has been trying to collapse in my face. Unless there is a cat or something new silently stalking us between the rows of cubicles, there could also be traps protecting the key, or maybe the key doesn't even exist. I could be walking into another trap, and I don't know if I can keep us alive. Is everything alright, Náme? I was just thinking about something for a moment.
Are you sure you don't have something on your mind?
I said I'm fine.
Newt, could you watch the door while we tear into the desk?
I'd be happy to keep the door safe, Captain.
Maybe I've been around for you too long, but it's freaky. Hearing someone in a brown uniform use my rank. Back in the day, it used to be, "Hey kid," or "Stop, you punk." With you, I'm not even sure remember my rank half of the time.
Of course I remember your rank, trooper.
Haha, you always call everyone else by the ranks when we are in formal stations, but you called me Jade in front of the base commander before.
No, I called you that idiotic Jade. If you're going to complain about it, complain about it properly.
Why, is it that much fun picking on me?
You think I'm picking on you. You really are that idiotic Jade. The reason I don't waste my time using ranks with you is because unlike 90% of the people whose ranks I use, I actually respect you a very slight degree.
Using the rank is a sign of respect. Even I learned that lesson in the academy.
I used to believe that as well, but a bubble-brained friend of mine convinced me that her way of thinking was more fitting. It was probably the only thing I learned from her. Using a person rank is a sign of respect for the rank they hold. Use the person name is a sign of respect for the person. Use the one with which you have more respect.
So?
I respect you more than I respect whatever it takes to be a captain. Before you get too full of yourself, getting captain position isn't that impressive anyway.
Thanks, Náme.
I just meant you're barely a step above dirt. You're like a blade of grass level in the giant spectrum of respect I have to give.
I know what you mean.
Then stop smiling like that.
I can't help it when beautiful girls pay me lovely compliments, even if they are wrapped up in embarrassed insults.
Shut up. I dug behind one of the black cloth chairs that must have been bought in the thousands for this building, putting it in the cubicle between his stupidity and myself. I don't expect to find at this workstation. Calling it minimalistic is the overstatement of the century. There's nothing in the drawers other than a few empty folders and a spare blank card for someone's datapad. There needs to be something that makes it come alive, something to burn off the industrial melancholy that comes with cookie-cutter workstations. Even I have a picture of my family sitting on my desk. As much as I try to keep them out of my mind while I'm sifting through empty folders for the security card, that picture comes floating back into my mind. That image was from a time when the world seemed to be full of possibilities. Dad used to lift me high on his shoulders and show me everything that the world could offer. Natalie and Dad used to fight all the time about Natalie's self-centered attitude. He'd want her home at a decent hour. She'd be off going to parties or getting into crazy adventures with her friends. So it would just be the two of us together playing some of the games his interactive technology students would make, if any of them knew a kid was their grading instructor. Even when he got sick and could barely walk around anymore, it would still be the two of us. Mom would be late working and Natalie would be off saving the world. The happy image of my family begins to grey in my mind, Dad with his pallid face in those family years. There are bags under Mom's eyes from working too hard and Natalie in her brand new Space Extra Academy uniform. I can't let it go to me. Now is not the time to lose myself to despair. Dad would be ashamed if his daughter stopped focusing on saving lives and started focusing on the darkness. But I can't help it. Dad's dead, Natalie's about to go to jail, and I'm stuck in some freaky world with only a pistol, a slightly dizzy deep-sea investigator, and a mechanic.
Hey Náme, you alright?
Huh? What makes you say that? I'm just frustrated, I can't find the key!
I recognize the look. You're tearing yourself up over something.
Oh, just lost in thought.
About?
I frantically look around, trying to find something that is far less embarrassing to be thinking about in this situation. No way I'll admitting that I'm worried about my family to join. I'm thinking about your knives.
Huh, they're pretty sweet, right? When I was younger, I had this really sweet girl who hand-carved the handle on my right over here. Lefty. I don't remember. I think I just bought it at the base post.
It's more I can figure out why you're using them. I'm confident we are going to find more emergency stocks of firearms before we are going to find the key.
You could believe in the heart of the cards, Náme.
I try to believe in the heart of statistics. My point stands.
Even if we did find some good guns, I don't think I'd use them.
Okay, I can comprehend why Newt refuses to take one. Even if I don't fully agree with it, why would you not?
I spent a lot of time while I was growing up learning how to dance and cut with these. I'm pretty good with them, if you haven't been paying attention.
But the firearm is better. Point blank, it does just much damage and has range. Don't give me that you say point blank, but then you speak of range, what? Don't give me that story of how you aren't trained. We all went through the basics.
You need to go through again. You've nearly shot me several times.
I may not be the best with this thing, but what I'm the best is not getting derailed. Why aren't you trying to arm yourself with real weapons?
Knives are real weapons.
Jade?
Náme?
I'm gonna find you a gun, then you can have a gun and a knife. That would work, right?
I'm not fully too opposed to it, but...
But nothing. If you're going to help me protect our unarmed member, then you need to have sufficient firepower.
I think these can protect better.
Answer, Jade. You're going to give them to me.
I just prefer knives, you gun nut.
I found it! Do I win a prize?
The price of being able to go home tonight.
I'll take it!
We're not done here.
Let's get going!
You open this can of worms, Jade! Eat them! No. Raising angels.
Judgment!
We did it! It's all the keys!
Awesome job.
Don't pat yourselves on the back hard. This is only the first step towards getting out of whatever mess we are in.
I'll send us alone. 2 floors, no sign of another Cartesian officer anywhere near here.
Do either of you recall seeing anyone on the way up to the office? I'm not much of a morning person, so it was all a blur to me.
I always get here before any of the other detectives show up, so not seeing anyone is normal for me.
I came in the side entrance back when the part of B building still existed. The only floor I saw was yours, and it wasn't like I was poking my head into the offices.
I find it highly unlikely that nobody was in the building this morning. There is always at least some sort of receptionist working. Could they have done something to the building or the staff before we arrived, and we just somehow slipped under their radar until they activated whatever brought us here?
I've never heard of anything that could do that. It's like the whole building shifted into some sort of other plane.
Shifted. That gives me an idea. Could there have been some sort of R&D accident that accidentally shifted parts of the building?
Name, I've shifted dozens of times as a pilot. You go into some dark space before you pop out on the other end. Besides, you would have seen the engine. The crystals alone would have to be massive.
I saw a big ebony crystal when I was trying to get to the first floor. It was on the pavement floating on a giant carving island.
How is that even possible? You don't really think that we were shifted to some weird alternate dimension? I make an act of brushing a stray hair out of my eyes while I mull over the thought. It's just a theory without any sort of evidence.
It's insanity.
Only when we have the proof of what happened can we be sure just how insane the theory is. There could be something far more sinister, and we were now in the afterlife.
We could be dead?
Possibly, nobody knows what happens to you when you die, and this could very well be what the afterlife looks like.
I take it back. Let's go back to the theory about being teleported by a giant engine.
But how would such a thing even be able to get on the base?
The same way everything gets onto the base. Someone brought it here. You don't think it just grew there, do you?
But security
isn't going to care about some big crystal. That's assuming that whatever is going on isn't sanctioned, or at least has support from the inside. This could very well be an accident by R&D, and we need to fix it from the side.
If this goes by R&D, I expect to pay for these splitting headaches. I swear I'm hearing voices.
What are they saying?
I know, the more I listen, the more it feels like I'm being sucked into a tide pool.
Then ignore them like they're the voice of mana.
Good tip.
My next one is even better. Put the keys in before we are mauled to death while waiting for the elevator.
I know, I think I might want to wait until it is lunchtime and we're authorized to.
Now, Jade, now.
Can we enjoy the light side of disaster?
Lockdown override activated!
The lights at the elevator flicker back to life. The whirring of the motor gives me a brief moment of hope that we might get out of this alive. I draw my gun and step behind a metal piece of the doorway to give me a little bit of cover from the elevator. Hope, but not foolishness.
Name, what are you doing?
I mean, if I were going to stage an ambush, I'd do it when people are going into the elevators. Newt lets out a little yip, as if the idea of an ambush was never a possibility until now. She flutters behind me, her hands gripping onto my blouse.
Let them come. I'm going to fight my way through whatever tries to think about hurting you both.
It's you we are worried about.
Relax, baby. Let Jay show you how to have a good time, and them to have a bad one.
Ding!
My finger curls around the trigger, fear overpowering the lessons on trigger discipline. I just know a boss is going to leap out of the elevator and pick a fight with us. Jade pokes his head in the elevator, despite the obvious tactic of one thing being on the ceiling. He's going to wrap its tongue around him and yank him straight up.
Clear.
Look up.
It's a ceiling.
Are you sure it isn't actually a giant sucker monster that's pretending to be a ceiling?
It'd be my luck that it'd be bad another mimic.
Jay leaps up, his longest knife pointed straight up. He really just loves tempting the obvious fate.
Nope, plain old ceiling.
The floor?
Still tile.
Sergeant Puccile, I think it's safe.
She's right, Name. It looks like this trap is a bust.
Go on, it was supposed to leap out at you the moment you said those words. You cursed yourself. Newt hops into the elevator and I follow closely behind, highly disappointed in the monsters roaming this place. I'm getting thwarted by creatures that can't even do dramatic traps properly. Why are you complaining about that? It's a good thing for us.
Clear.
Not even trap at the bottom. What kind of rookies are we dealing with?
Why do you keep hoping terrible things will happen to us?
Because if I want to be caught up in an interdimensional kidnapping, I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth. This news first time going through something like this.
And hopefully the last.
It's mine as well. I remember you've done something like this before.
Not like this, but life as a SITO was weird. Why do you think I'm not part of them anymore?
Because Brown is so slimming on you?
The ribbon is really cute on you as well.
Never mind. We fall out into the foyer and my disappointment only continues to grow. Also expecting to see papers scattered around a sea of corpses. Something really traumatic. Seeing the same sign that I see every day coming to work is far freakier than any sort of nightmare I was expecting. It's too plain, too normal. Worst of all, it throws a wrench in my terrible accident plan. If there was some sort of colossal disaster that caused this, then the footage would be able to show me what happened. If it just went poof and we were here, the security footage is going to be worthless. There has to be something I can use. Proof of events that transpired that will let me get us home.
Name, we have a problem.
A problem? Good, that's more like it. What's wrong?
You're really not going to like this. The security room's keypad is an 86 system, not an 81 system.
And that means what to us?
Maybe Mana might have some sort of trick to hack her way through and get into the room, but my workarounds and data tricks aren't going to work on something like this.
What kind of illicit hacker are you?
I've told this before, but I don't really work much on the code side of things. That was always Mana's role in our hastes.
Haste?
Yeah, Sweet'll think I'm a real bad man.
Incredibly bad, you're going to get us through that door, am I clear?
But
Jade?
I could never turn down Lady's request, I'll figure it out somehow.
I grab Newt and start looking around the lobby for anything that would be out of place. Some sort of hint has to exist around here. But there's nothing out there. The trees aren't secretly hiding key documents. There aren't any monsters from beyond the veil of time and space sitting at the receptionist's desk. From the growls and string of colorful curses that make Newt blush deeper and deeper red, Jade seems to be having just as much luck as me. Poor Newt doesn't even seem to know what to think at what is essentially our normal bed rate banter. Seeing her flustered is a little adorable, I have to quietly admit to myself. But I can't let her wallow in discomfort. I whistle to catch her attention and beckon towards me. Why don't you come over here and help me check the doors, Newt?
Yes, Mom.
I don't expect much in terms of discovery, and I'm promptly rewarded for my theory. The biggest hint I'm given is that the doors at least still work.
Where did all the birds go?
Good question. Kirk cries, floating islands, as far as I can see.
Maybe they all went home?
Or maybe they're just waiting for us to go out there so they can attack!
I don't sense anything living out there.
Doesn't mean something isn't out there.
Is everything alright? You seem more and more unsettled as we continued on.
I'm fine. Let me guess, you can see my heart and tell that I'm lying. Her cold fingers pull back from my hands, a tense look of fear on her face.
I just wanted to know.
The truth is, my SITO experiences taught me to expect danger everywhere. You've only been a judicial sergeant your entire career, right?
From the Judicial Academy too now.
Life makes sense when you live in that narrow gap. The bad guys are just crooks and the clues make everything add up. But when you live life as a SITO, when you start stepping out of the bounds of the ordinary, you start to see how danger can lurk even behind the innocent. The moment you let down your guard, something is going to blindside you. The second you stop suspecting, you're dead. I had that life, but that mindset is going to keep us alive out there, here.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not like I like to wave around the fact that I left such a terrible organization. Most people look at you funny.
It's not that. I'm sorry you think like that.
Huh?
To spend so much time staring up at the lurking darkness in the shadows that you don't ever get to see the light of hope. It hurts me so much. So I'm sorry.
I'm saving us here.
I worry that you are the one who needs to be saved.
I grow with her retort and pull out my sidearm from where I have it jammed in my belt. Okay, fine. You go ahead and open those doors and let's see who ends up saving whom.
But
If you living monsters don't hide the light, just go ahead, open the doors.
Okay.
Wait, what? I wasn't serious. You were supposed to back out.
I'm going to show that there is still hope in the dark moments.
Wait! But I'm too slow and she's flinging the door wide open. My mind panics. I try to decide if I stand a better chance flying, tackling Newt to the ground, or taking a knee and shooting at the swarm that is going to devour her. Newt spins back around to face me, her fluffy hair floating in the calm breeze.
Huh? You've got to have faith in the hope that life will be peaceful.
Look out!
Wah! Hey, did you see something?
Sorry, I figured that if something was going to attack you, that line would have been the trigger.
I'm fine.
I'd say the situation is fine, but you aren't. You're lucky.
Someday I hope you'll have hope in the world again.
Luck, I wonder what drew them away.
I see a couple over there. They look like they're trying to eat some pink thing climbing up the spiral mountain.
I edge closer out the doors onto the stone steps leading up to the building. Just waiting for the trap to be set off. There is a path leading from the stairs to the mountain with the monument, but pieces of it are crumbling. How is this all floating in the air? Are we in the air? Have I just gone crazy? If there are no answers here, we are going to have to go down this path. That's skinnier than I am. Looking at where Newt is pointing, I see bolts of black energy launching out the birds, knocking out of the air. Whatever the pink thing is, it is putting up one good fight. I squint my eyes, trying as hard as I can to pick out what it is. It takes a few moments for the birds to be shot out of the air, but once they are, my view becomes clear.
I see a freakin' with large wings and a pink-haired kitsune over there. They must be trying to get to the crystal. Hey? Further down I see a Lupita and a child with them in a space sector uniform.
That's no child. That's Flight Officer Kyle Migi, our defendant.
Are you sure?
I recognize that stupid looking hat anywhere. It's definitely her. Was there a Kitsune and Lupita on the Nimross crew?
There was. The one with pink hair might be Lieutenant Kika Star, and the one with the grey shirt could be Captain Faye Moonfollow. The freakin' is a mystery fob.
Might. Shoot. These aren't words for investigators. Let's go.
You want to go there? Aren't you scared of danger?
I'm not scared of danger. I want to be prepared for it and not put myself in it for no good reason. Finding other people, especially ones who might have answers, is a very good reason to risk my life.
I'll help you keep your balance.
I appreciate it. Just try not to knock me off, Jade. Jade? What? I'm working as fast as I can. We might have found some other survivors, whatever happened. I'll go get them. You keep working on the door and try not to get ambushed. Thanks for adding another thing to my plate. You're welcome. Let's go, Newt. This is the end for now. More to come. Alright. That's right. She's correct. This is the end for now. More to come. Tomorrow, in the next episode, we'll see what's gonna happen. We'll be joining Kika on her endeavor. Well, I guess we found out that she's sort of alright in the end, which is great. Anywho, hope you enjoyed the video. If you lost it until the very end, consider liking it. I mean, why else? Why else would it be until the very end if you didn't like it, right? So like the video. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. That's always appreciated as well, as once again YouTube is slowing the growth of it, unfortunately. What else? What else? Oh, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram in the description. If you're into that stuff, consider following me there as well. That's it for today. Hope you all have a wonderful day. And again, hope you will join me tomorrow in the next video as well. Bye bye.